Hi everyone, in this video I will provide information of Azure SQL Elastic Pool. So are you ready? Hi everyone, I am Nirav and welcome to SQL Brainbox. What is Elastic Pool? So Elastic Pool is a collection of database with a shared set of resources managed via SQL Server. Or you can say a Elastic Pool is a resource allocation services used to scale and manage performance as well as cost of a group of Azure SQL database. Let's first discuss the agenda. So today we are going to discuss about the Elastic Pool. So first I will provide some introduction of Elastic Pool. Then we will discuss the problem statement. Then we will discuss it's really a Elastic Pool is a cost effective, and we can see the demo. I have a very small demo for the Elastic Pool in Azure portal. So introduction. So before that, uh, let me give some information. So in Azure, Microsoft Azure, SQL database deployed in a three way. Either you can go with the single database, you can go with the Elastic Pool, or you can go with the managed instance. Today, I will provide information of Elastic Pool. I have created a dedicated video for a single database. I have provided a link below. If you have not watched yet, I would recommend to go and watch. Okay, so let's discuss the problem statement. Before, let me repeat what is Elastic Pool. So Elastic Pool nothing but it's a collection of database, and the resources are shared and which will manage by the SQL server. Okay, now let me give some information about the single database. Single database has a its own set of resources and which will manage by a same SQL Azure server, and this SQL database server is a logical server. Whenever you create a database in Azure portal, by default it will create, or you can say to create any database you will require one SQL logical server. In any organization you do not have a single database, you have a multiple database, right? So let's understand, if you have a multiple database and if you are using a single database services, then what is the problem? Let's say I have a DB1 I have deployed on a Azure, okay, and I have given 100 DTU service. Okay, so let's understand this chart. Most of the time, or you can say the 70% of time, my resources are not used, or you can say it's an idle state, but only the 30% of time my resources are used. In this case, my resources are not used in a 70%, still I am paying. Okay, it means that you have to pay either your resources are used or not used. Okay, so let's understand in a different way. So what happened in the many organization struggle with the unpredictable workload upon there are multiple database holding a various application. So propensity of linking money can be below two ways. Either overpay the high resource all the time, which bought based on a peak usage calculation. So see here, you have calculated and you took the highest utilization is a 90 DTU. Okay, 90 DTU. So you pick the 100 DTU model or purchasing model. So you are overpaying. And the second, compromise the performance by assigning the lower resources and experience in a inefficient solution. Or some other way, you took the purchase model having a 20 DTU or 30 DTU. So in that case, maybe you receive or you got a low performance, right? So these are the two problems, and these two problems are resolved by the elastic pool. Okay, so now what is elastic pool? So when it's suitable, so elastic pool are feasible or suitable for a large number of database with a specific utilization pattern for a given database, and this pattern is characterized by low average utilization with relatively infrequent utilization peak. So again I repeat, the pool are well suitable for a large number of database with a specific utilization pattern, and the pattern or the most of the database have low average utilization with relatively infrequently utilization spike. Now I hope you understand the problem in a single database having a low utilization or infrequent utilization peaks. Okay, so there are two problems: either you overpay or you compromise with the performance. So let's understand in a different way. So are a elastic pool really a cost? So here I have given a two chart. Now you understand that in the first chart we are using a single ton database deployment method, and in the second chart I am using a elastic pool deployment method. So if you see in a singleton database, you have given 100 DTU resources, okay, and most of the time the resources are in the idle state. I have configured the same 100 DTU in an elastic pool, and I am deploying 4 databases. So in same resource cost, you can deploy a multiple database in an elastic pool. So it's really a cost effective. Okay, let's understand in a different way. Single database price estimation at the central US. If you choose a S3 model having 100 DTUs and you are deploying a 5 database, the cost would be $749 per month. For each database, the cost would be $149. Now, in an elastic pool price estimation at a central US, you took a basic tier with 100 eDTUs with a 200 dB pools, means you can accommodate a 200 dB in a single pool. The cost would be $148 per month. It means up to 80% reduction if you go with the standard and premium. Accordingly, you will save the cost 70% and 76%. Also, you can include a new database having a similar usage pattern to the current elastic pool. So in this elastic pool deployment method, anytime you can add or remove a database from in a pool. Okay, so now I hope you understand that how much cost you can save. Okay, but the condition is the all the database with a specific utilization pattern. Okay, and they have average utilization with a relatively infrequent utilization peak. Now, how to determine the database is good for the elastic? So here I have given a very simple example. I have taken this example from the Microsoft website. Yeah. So for the any database, the utilization of resources on an average 67% or less will be a good candidate for elastic pool. So let's take an example. If you have a S3 database that picks 200 DTU and on average usage 67 DTU or less is a good candidate for sharing a eDTU in a. Okay, so I hope you understand. So on you have to take an average, and if the average is less than or 67%, then it will be the good candidate for the elastic pool. In Microsoft website, they have given a very good example. I would recommend you go and check. I have given a link here, so you go through the Microsoft site and check. Thank you very much. See you in a demo. So welcome to elastic pool demo. So here, let me give some brief idea. So here first we will create a resource group, then we will create a SQL elastic pool. After creating a SQL elastic pool, we will create a SQL server, and after that we will create a database, and we can add and remove a database from the elastic pool. Okay, so let's go first create a resource group. Click on resource group, click on add button, give the resource group name, select the region. Here I am selecting a Southeast Asia. Review and create. Resource group created. Now first I am creating SQL server. Go to SQL server, click on add button, give a server name, username, password, resource group. So I am selecting SQL elastic pool and I am creating a logical server. Yeah, so I am selecting Southeast Asia and click on create button. So deployment in progress. So now the logical server created. SQL Brainbox is our server name. Now go to the search button, or you can go to the home, see Azure services, click on see all services and type SQL Elastic. So this is a SQL Elastic pool. So click on Elastic pool, click on add button. So click on add button. So here by default the resource group selected SQL Elastic pool. Give the elastic pool name. So I am here giving India. Server, same logical server, just now we created SQL Brainbox. And here the cost and compute. So here, so as we discussed in my previous video, there are two types of purchasing model. Either you have to go with the DTU based purchasing model, or you have to go with the vCode based purchasing model. So here, so if you need a more detail about the purchasing model, then I would recommend to go my previous video. You will get all the details about the purchasing model. So here I am selecting a basic service tier having a 50 DTU. You can increase the DTU size as you want. So I'm selecting a 50 DTU. Yeah, so deployment succeed. Go to the home button, go to services, SQL Elastic, open the SQL Elastic pool. So our India SQL Elastic pool got created having a 50 EDTU. Now let's click on here. So here you will get all idea. So before that, let's first create a database. Okay. So to go to the SQL database, click on add button, resource pool SQL elastic pool, give a DB name DB1, and here if you want to add a database in an elastic pool, you have to select option. So want to use a SQL elastic pool? Yes. So by default, this drop down will come and it will provide all the list provide the list of pools. So right now I have only one pool. That's why by default is showing India elastic pool. So select it, review and create. So deployment in progress. Yeah, so deployment is completed. Let's go. Okay, so the DB1 is created. Let's create one more database, DB2. Want to choose a SQL elastic pool? Yes. Review and create. So here, let's recap everything. Here I have created first resource group. Then I have created one logical server, SQL brain box. Then I have created a SQL elastic pool inside this logical server. Now I am creating a two database, DB1 and DB2, under this pool. Okay. So deployment is completed. Go to resource. So now let's first open the SQL elastic pool. So click on the search button and type SQL elastic. Click on India underscore elastic pool, and here first let's check. Click on configure. So here you can see we have taken a basic service tier having a 50 DTUs. Now click on database. So by default in this pool we have configured a two database. You can configure 100 database in this pool. Okay. Now also you can configure a DTU setting per database. So right now I have 5 DTU, it means there is no option, but if you have a 50 DTU service tier, you can configure a DTU setting per database. Also you can add and remove a database anytime. So you can add database using this button add, or you can remove a database using this button. So remove. So you can remove the database using remove from pool. So click on this button. Okay, so first select the database DB2, then click on remove from pool, and then click on save button. So deployment succeed. Let's quickly check. So now, so we have successfully removed a database DB2 from pool. You can add anytime. Click on add database, select the database, click on apply, and click on save button. So it's a very easy to add and remove database. Deployment succeed. Let's quickly check. Go to database. So now the DB2 is under this pool. So now you see, right, it's very easy to add and remove the database. So here there is one more setting. There is a called recommendation. So when you have added when you add a database in a pool, so after a certain period of time, Microsoft will recommend either you have to increase your DTU, or either you have to remove some database from the pool. So Microsoft will give the recommendation, and based on this recommendation you can customize your pool. Also, there is one monitoring section that is called database resource utilization. So here you will give a beautiful chart from of DB1 and DB2, and based on this utilization you can either decide either you have to increase a DTU or you have to remove some database from pool. Okay, so you have to continuously monitor your pool to get a better performance.